Hello everyone, this is Gautami. Welcome to my YouTube channel Gautami Tech Skills. In this Python series, we are going to learn variables in Python and also what are the rules we should follow while creating the variables. Let's begin. Variables are containers for storing data values. And also we can define these variables as an alternative name for memory location and can have a shorter name or a more descriptive name. What is mean by this? Usually when we want to display any data, what we will do inside this print function, we are writing the data like something Gautami Tech Skills. What is the identification for this data here is address. What is mean by this address? Usually this data is going to be stored somewhere in your memory location. The identification for this data is address provided by this memory location. Usually these addresses are not rememberable for longer duration. So we are going to give an alternative name for the addresses or memory location. We will make use of the concept called a variables. So you can understand that variables are an alternative name for a memory location to store the data. Instead of printing directly the data, we are going to give some rememberable identities for this data. Now just store this data in some name. Let us take YouTube is equal to, I am writing Gautami Tech Skills. Instead of storing this data directly into the memory location, I am just giving some identity by giving a name called YouTube. This is called a variable name. Variables are a type of identifier. Providing an identity to a data is known as identifier. In that identifier, one of the type here is variable, which is an alternative name for your memory location. In Python, we no need to define the data types. Why? Because Python can understand what the user is storing in that variable. Let's do it in practical. I already given a file name as variables and heading as variables. Let's begin to store a value in a variable. I already said that I am just creating a variable YouTube is equal to and writing the data as Gautami Tech Skills. What is the identity for this data here is YouTube. In order to print this data, we can make use of this variable name. How to print this? Simply use a print function and write that variable name so that we can able to display the data present in this variable. Run this so you can see the data. The identification for this data here is YouTube. Remember, you should not provide quotes for this variable names. If you provide quotations for this, this is not a variable, this is a data only. Whenever you are printing the variable, you should not enclose it with quotations. Then only it will bring the data what you stored in that variable name. Let's discuss the rules that we should follow while creating the variables. There are few rules listed out here. The first rule you should follow here is a variable name must start with a letter or the underscore character. The second rule is a variable name cannot start with a number. And third rule is a variable name can only have a alphanumeric characters and underscore. A fourth rule is variable names are case sensitive. Fifth rule is variable name should not match with keywords. Now we are going to implement these rules in practical. Open Jupyter Notebook. The first rule that we should discuss here is a variable name must start with a letter or a underscore character. Usually while creating the variable names, the starting letter character should be a letter or underscore symbol. Have an example. Name is equal to Gautami. Here the variable is started with a letter N. There is a one more way to create a variable. Capital NAME is equal to tech skills. This is also one more way to create a variable which it starts with a capital letter. Another way, you can start with underscore symbol also. Let us take year is equal to 2025. So the variable can start either with a small letter, capital letter or underscore symbol. You can use any of these three states while creating a variable. So let's print this. If I want to print Gautami, make use of the variable name called name. If you want to print tech skills, make use of the variable name called capital NAME. If you want to print the year, use a variable called underscore year. Just run this. You can see all these values. This is the first rule. The second rule that we should follow here is a variable name cannot start with a number, which means when I am creating a variable name, that should not start with a number. If I start creating a variable with number, well, while printing it, it throws an error like this. What is the variable name that I have created? To age. Just run it. You can see the error is syntax error. It should not start with a digit, but you can make use of the digit in between or end of the variable. For example, date 3 is equal to 2025. If I want to print this 2025, I can make use of the variable date 3 and run the cell. You can see the data. It should not start with the digit, but it can be anywhere. What's the third rule here is a variable name can only have alphanumeric characters and underscore. Usually while creating the variable names, we discussed that the variable name should start with letter or underscore symbol, but it should not start with number. The third rule here is the variable name should contain only alphanumeric characters and underscore. That means capital letters A to Z, small case letters small a to Z, digits 0 to 9 and only the symbol underscore. Let's have an example. If I am creating a variable name, full name is equal to Gautami Tech Skills. Here this full is one word, name is second word. Usually you can write like this, or you can separate these two words with some symbol. What is that symbol here is use only the underscore symbol. You should not use hyphen symbol, you should not use a space, these kind of things. Only recommended symbol here is underscore. For suppose if I use a space and I created a variable name full space name and I stored this data. Now I want to print this by using this variable. What is the output we will see? Print function, I am just giving the variable name as full name. Just run it. It's an error. You should not use a space for separating the words, and also you should not use hyphen symbol. For suppose if I have given hyphen symbol and stored this data, and for printing I am using same symbol hyphen and I am running it. Here also you are getting the same error. Syntax error. You should not use symbols rather than underscore symbol. Instead of keeping space hyphen, just give underscore in the variable and try to print it. You can see the output, that is the data stored in this variable. You can also give a digits. For example, letters and underscore symbol, you can also give a digit except at beginning. For suppose if I have given 2 at ending, this is also recommended. This is also a one way of creating the variable name. Compulsory to use all type of characters like letters, underscore symbol and digits. Based on the data, you can create the variable name. Let's have a fourth rule. Variable names are case sensitive. For example, name, all these letters are in small case. This is a one more variable name where it starts with capital letter. And these are all the letters written in capital case. Although the pronunciation is same, but the cases are different, which means we cannot access the data similarly if you use any of these variables. Let's have an example. If I create a variable name called course is equal to Python. So I'm just storing this Python data in this course variable. If I try to print course, mistakenly I just on the caps lock and I try to use this variable name and I'm running this. The output that we can see here is name error. The variable you used for printing is not defined. This is the reason variable names are case sensitive. Whatever the cases you used for storing the data, same thing should be used for printing the data stored in that variable. The fifth rule is variable name should not match with keywords. We already discussed what are all keywords present in the Python. When I try to create a variable name, the name should not be a keyword. Let us take an example. We have seen a keyword called class equal to 10. Actually, this is a keyword. When I try to print that variable name, what is the output we will see? Syntax error. Because we used a keyword called class. We are violating the rule. If you don't know the keywords, then how can we recognize? A very simple. Every editor will have some specific color to identify the keywords. In this Jupyter notebook, to identify the keywords, the color will be green color. By seeing this color, you can notice that it will be a keyword. Usually, the variable names and all will be in black color. But if you observe, this is on green color, which means it will be a keyword. By seeing its color, you can modify it to a variable name. So now you can able to get a output. So you should not use keywords to variable names. Hope you understand what is meant by variable and what are the rules that we should follow while creating the variables. Kindly like my video, share my video, comment below. If you didn't subscribe to my channel, subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon for more notification. Thank you for watching.